Beyond a reasonable doubt is the highest standard of proof used in criminal trials. This standard is critical to ensuring that the burden of proof lies with the prosecution and that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Below, we explore the definition, significance, interpretation, and application of this legal principle. Definition of beyond a reasonable doubt. High standard of proof. Beyond a reasonable doubt requires the prosecution to prove the defendant's guilt to such a degree that there could be no reasonable doubt in the mind of a reasonable person concerning the defendant's guilt. Certainty. While it does not mean absolute certainty, it is a high level of confidence, leaving no room for rational or logical doubt. Significance of beyond a reasonable doubt. 1. Presumption of innocence. Foundation of criminal justice. The standard of beyond a reasonable doubt upholds the principle that a defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Burden on prosecution. The burden of proof lies entirely with the prosecution, who must convince the judge or jury of the defendant's guilt. 2. Protection of defendants minimizes wrongful convictions. By requiring such a high level of proof, the system aims to minimize the risk of wrongful convictions, ensures fair trials. It ensures that convictions are based on solid and compelling evidence, not on speculation or presumption. Interpretation of beyond a reasonable doubt. 1. Reasonable person standard. Rational doubt. A reasonable doubt is not just any doubt, but one based on reason and common sense. It must be a doubt that would make a rational person hesitate to act. Concrete evidence. The prosecution must provide clear and concrete evidence that convinces a reasonable person of the defendant's guilt. 2. Moral certainty. Moral certainty. Owing from historical usage in English common law, moral certainty means being convinced to a moral or ethical degree without any logical doubt remaining. 3. Jury instructions. Clarification by judges. Judges provide instructions to juries to clarify what constitutes beyond a reasonable doubt. While explanations can vary, the essence is to ensure that jurors understand the high threshold required to convict. Common instructions. Jurors may be told that they should convict only if they have an abiding conviction of a defendant's guilt or if they are firmly convinced of the defendant's guilt. Application in criminal trials. 1. Jury deliberation, evaluating evidence. Jurors must consider the credibility and sufficiency of evidence presented by the prosecution. They must determine whether the evidence meets the beyond a reasonable doubt standard. Deliberation process. Jurors deliberate collectively, examining evidence, witness testimony, and arguments to reach a unanimous verdict. 2. Roles of prosecution and defense. Prosecution's role. The prosecution must present a compelling case that eliminates reasonable doubt about the defendant's guilt through evidence and witness testimony. Defense's role. The defense aims to introduce and highlight reasonable doubts in the prosecution's case, thus preventing the jury from reaching the level of confidence required for conviction. Examples to illustrate beyond a reasonable doubt. 1. Example 1. Clear evidence scenario. In a theft case, the prosecution presents surveillance footage showing the defendant stealing items, coupled with eyewitness testimony and the recovery of stolen goods from the defendant's possession. Outcome. Given the compelling and clear evidence, a jury might reasonably conclude, beyond a reasonable doubt, that the defendant is guilty. 2. Example 2. Insufficient evidence scenario. In a murder case, the prosecution's evidence is circumstantial. There are no eyewitnesses, and the primary evidence is based on the defendant's proximity to the crime scene. Outcome. If the defense successfully highlights alternative explanations for the evidence, a jury may not reach the certainty required for a conviction due to the presence of reasonable doubt. Challenges in interpretation. 1. Subjectivity. Individual perspectives. Jurors' interpretations of beyond a reasonable doubt can be subjective, influenced by their experiences, beliefs, and reasoning abilities. Uniform. Understanding. The challenge lies in ensuring that all jurors have a uniform understanding of the standard and apply it consistently. 2. Complex cases, complex evidence. In cases with complex or technical evidence, jurors may struggle to apply the standard correctly, requiring expert testimonies and clear guidance from the judge. Emotional influence. High-profile or emotionally charged cases can sway jurors, making it essential to emphasize the importance of adhering strictly to the legal standard.